Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Unknown Light Warrior, welcoming you with open arms to, as always, the special ops of 144K mass meditations on this exit doorway of this transitional period of 11:11 to 11:22. Time to exit onto the highest possible attainable timeline. Timeline wars being so central to not only planetary liberation, but overall victory of the light and corralling all dark back to the light. Throughout the multiverse, doesn't get much bigger than this, I suppose, as we await the thumbs up for all audios on several platforms are working loud and clear. That'll be another minute or two as you begin to relax, calm yourself into that relaxed meditative state. As people logging on begins to slow down. And apologies to all of you in Europe for it being a difficult hour on this occasion for you. I can certainly report that the number of synchronicities have been happening since 11:11 Arizona time. Then I got 12:12, then I got 555 a little over 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to have to keep the preamble really short this time because we need to get up there because it's already 11:23 in most parts of the world. Okay, so if you're new and this is your first 144K mass meditation, make sure you have your favorite beverage, tea or coffee, and water, and be open to really stretch your consciousness beyond the current boundaries of your consciousness. You'll be raised up higher in levels of consciousness, as always, because that's where freedom lies. And after today, we will be qualifying the whole planet, or helping, doing our part to qualify the whole planet onto a softer but longer transitional passageway or period. Similar to the 3-month period that led or completed itself on December 21st, 2012. And that's more like a cycle of time to really complete and consolidate and wrap up the energy wars. And from the 20th or 21st of January 2025 onward till March 21st, there will be the wrapping up and final consolidation of the war on the physical plane, on the surface of the physical plane. To give you the basic synopsis. So let's begin. Or effectively begin this 144K mass meditation by bringing yourself to stillness, centeredness, calmness, that meditative state, detachment, all spirituality 101 stuff, to harmonize our energies. And by doing that with yourself, you begin to channel and bring forth the self more through you. And in case some of you have forgotten to, make sure you are breathing through your nose only, deeply and slowly. As we are about to transform a world, finish transforming a universe, literally. Now see yourself in that gigantic, translucent, silver crystal ball. So we can travel up to that special beyond multiversal realm to amplify our meditative power and timeline altering power by 100. Look all around you, to your left and the right, and see the golden light bodies of all your $144K fellow comrades and brothers and sisters in arms. And I just got 11:11 London time, which is GMT time, interestingly. Interesting little doorway indicator there that my eyes landed on. And if you don't consider yourself much of an energy worker or visualizer, just remember, the less you try, the easier it is. Just release your consciousness. Allow your left hemisphere brain to release your consciousness so you can naturally drift into the right hemisphere of your brain to allow instantaneous imagery to be actualized without an ounce of trying, as if you don't care, with the limitless attitude of a child, which certainly helps release you from the rigid, massively conditioned left hemisphere brain. So you can naturally, effortlessly channel the mass of light of your true self through this incarnation on the physical surface of this planet for the magic to happen. Let's call in Gaia. I'll call upon the one true authentic Gaia. Authentic Gaia, please be here with us right here, right now. Authentic Gaia, can we please have your permission to take you up with us to managers of multiverses? See Gaia in the middle. All you mostly goddesses that have quite a close relationship with Gaia. This is the kind of thing where you come to the fore. See Gaia in the middle of the dotted golden ring. That is every single 144K member stepping up to make a world-changing difference. Adore and admire her beautiful white polar ice caps and clouds over the continents and blue oceans. The sacred one. And now we start to move up through the layers. Of this universe. You notice the first few horizontal, thick white layers of this universe. Before that, familiar, comforting, soft, therapeutic flashing of light through the translucent walls of the crystal ball appear. And it really does feel like you're racing up a super fast elevator. As you begin to continue to acclimate to these higher frequencies and start channeling, being your God or goddess self, simply by honoring the fact that this is now an internal game of consciousness, projection from the physical plane, from the physical body. That literally transforms whole realms, whole planes, whole densities in a way that simply doesn't happen. And can't be done by any positive beings on those respective planes and densities. It's all done through consciousness projection from the physical plane. As you continue to adore and admire Gaia, and you naturally, effortlessly pay attention to that internal imagery that is already there. Because your intent has been set. Feel your confidence grow, your stillness, centeredness, and resoluteness grow, your calmness and detachment and presence with the present grow the higher we go. And if you have your own guides that you work with consciously, go ahead and call them in now whilst adoring Gaia. And then return your focus back to this broad picture. And then everything, all of a sudden, goes bright white. It's so bright you have to squint your eyes as we reach and move through that thick outer boundary of this universe. Expand your paradigm. Let go and trust. You're in the right place at the right time, whether the conscious mind knows it or not. And we're through. You see the big ball of light that is the universe that we just left. We rise above a whole ocean of universes within this multiverse. And then that whole multiverse turns into slightly more hazier ball of light. And we rise above a whole ocean of multiverses. And then it all turns into a small patch of light, I guess you can call it, and that disappears. Return your focus back to your guides and onto Gaia. As I quickly just go through the protocols to set the stage for vast power and protection. Authentic hide, we call upon the one true authentic light beings to hide. Please make sure we go to you when no one else true hide. And you look up. And through the roof of the crystal ball, you see a single point of white light appear far away. And it rapidly grows into a big area of light, I guess. And we're still approaching it. There's so much mystery to the vast, hidden realms above all that is. The whole roof of the crystal ball is now very lit up, very bright. And now we finally reach it. We come to a sudden, yet somehow gentle stop. Then we slowly and lovingly move through this platform of light. Hold your visual focus on, well, mostly Gaia. And it closes at the bottom, opens up at the top. As we nestle on top of this platform of light, we form a straight line. Behind and above Gaia, the crystal ball begins to peel open from the top center slowly. Past the halfway point, all the way down. All the way down. And now it's time to go into an even deeper meditative state or state of being to access deeper, or you could say higher, aspects of your true self through even more stillness and detachment, but presence, and even less doing or trying. The image is already there. Just look inward. Let go. Broaden that internal imagery. It's all instantaneous. Just pay attention inwardly and feel these very translucent beings of light managers of multiverses. And especially if you're new, feel their unique energy signature. Just being with them upgrades and clears your field. And establish your own connection with them for about a minute. Authentic God, please send us a massive wave of your energy so we can truly feel you to an undeniable, unmistakable physical level. And just watch. Again, the less you try, the easier it is. Use so-called imagination if needed. Because that's what unlocks and frees your consciousness. It's all about consciousness. Remember to breathe deeply and slowly whilst holding visual on this profound, super high frequency presence of these very senior light beings. Authentic God, please send us a massive wave of your energy so we into our hearts and connect with us, with and through our hearts. And as you look at them, have a little bit of background consciousness, maybe 10% of your consciousness on your inner chest, to help notice their unique energy signature. And of course, get energetic benefits from that. Allow this to help you go really deep for more power, but also more ease and grace. And it's always okay if you only see faint images. They're quite often the most accurate ones. Okay. Put a bit of focus back onto your guides as I quickly call in the rest of the teams and take us to omnipresence. for another big multiplication of power, clearing, results, and timeline upgrade to freedom. I call upon the infinite army of the authentic amalgam of the Oberon lineage. I call upon the elders of the amalgam. I call upon the team of beings that created this universe and physicality for the purposes of corralling the dark back to the light throughout all that is. That presents itself as one man, referred to as Oberon in this model. Repeat after me, everybody. I call upon the entirety of my soul. And see that vast field of light, love, knowledge, experience, codes, memories. Although it appears as a small star from up above the HOD, from our point of view, connect with it. You ain't going far anytime soon without realigning or aligning to your soul identity. Never mind being able to transform a world and fulfill your purpose here. Repeat after me. I call upon my authentic oversoul and see a slightly bigger ball of light behind your soul in a different color if you prefer to differentiate. This is the larger version of your higher self. And repeat after me. I call upon my authentic I am. And see that even bigger ball of light with far-reaching, really extended rays of light, almost as if they're reaching you. A lot more pervasive and omnipresent kind of energy. The I am, your first point of individuation from source. If you were to ever meet your I am, it'll feel like you're meeting source. To the rational mind, anyway. Authentic Legion of Light. There is Gaia. Here is the 144K from and down to the physical 3D and 4D density on the surface, ready to channel and transform with us and through us. Let's make it happen. Can you please take us all to the space and place and frequency of omnipresence? Take that brief glance at Gaia. And everything goes bright white. So bright, you have to squint your eyes as we journey. I would even say upgrade to omnipresence, an extra level of consciousness. Time to be the spiritual master that you truly intrinsically are. Just let go and don't try. And the bright light disappears. Everything looks the same in a stupendous panoramic scenic kind of way. Okay, now pay attention to galvanize our intent and goal. Authentic Legion of Light. And these vast levels and layers of light concentrated onto this small blue planet, but a nexus planet affecting the whole multiverse. It is the exit doorway of 1122, two master numbers. This passageway began, or portal period began on 1111. Our overall goal is to exit this portal period onto the highest possible timeline on the other side of 1122 to set us up for a far greater, far smoother, far more wondrous, exciting, uplifting 3-month period of this larger transitional period of November 22 to January 21st. It's all about transits and portals and passageways, because we're zooming up through the 4D and eventually next year into the 5D. But where life can begin to transform for active starseeds, beginning with the 144K here on the physical surface. Life transformation. Needless to say, We ask all of you and all our higher aspects to scan and clear from omnipresence through us and because of our consciousness on you, to scan and clear all blocks to the highest possible timeline ascension and exit portal of 1122. Okay, the action is already happening. If you haven't already, see Gaia in a white quarantine sphere. And by consciously connecting with your I am, see Gaia well within this white quarantine sphere. And you can start seeing stuff. Often amorphous stuff. You don't have to make sense of it or know it at the rational conscious mind, because the rational conscious mind doesn't know much in terms of what your higher aspects and right hemisphere brain knows. If you're new, as you can tell, there's just a fundamentally different form of consciousness you utilize with my support to truly transform a world and transform life without it taking a whole 2,000-year period. We do not choose that. We're not interested in that. As you hold visual focus inwardly through your true eye that sees all, basically, when working with your I am through the right hemisphere of your brain. That's what the right hemisphere of your brain is there for. We, unsurprisingly, there is the initial resistance. We're going to clean up for 10 to 15 minutes of clearing resistance. I simply call it garbage. And if you're new, anything negative will appear as grey or black. And you fulfill your purpose by turning anything grey or black into white. Transmute by turning it white, then watching it disappear. Play around with the broader background colours of Gaia and the quarantine sphere to distinguish things visually as we the more we clear things, the more it settles the energies and we're able to go deeper within yourself, because the noise is reduced. as we sequentially transmute garbage. And try to, again, without an ounce of trying, broaden the field of vision of your true eye. Oh, she felt that. And at a minimum, see your I am in the background, slightly above the quarantine sphere. And if you can see more than that, have at it. But your I am that's kind of like your backbone, if you will, of this mass world-changing intervention. Now, there appears to be, well, let me not verbalize it in case it interferes with what you're seeing. Any of you not seeing anything in particular and therefore not transmuting, again, really let go, really forget about, quote unquote, trying to get it right. It doesn't work that way. The intent, your intent has been set. And whatever comes up, turn it white. It doesn't have to appear as something that your rational mind understands. It's actually quite limiting. It's important to expand your consciousness through deeper detachment, deeper inward focus. Visually speaking, you're here for a reason. You know, sometimes, it takes a while to, quote unquote, get into it. And that's normal. Again, forget about getting it right. Okay, now, if you're not doing anything in particular at the moment, feel your soul in your chest, heart area. And you can, request, say this verbally at the physical level, or you can just hold the intent of connecting and aligning with its true purpose for this particular time space. Through your heart, and again, if you need to, pretend, quote unquote. I mean, there's no such thing as pretending or imagining, because they're all just forms of consciousness, and consciousness is king. especially when projected from the physical to the non-physical, which is the real and true purpose of the creation and invention of the physical that's unique to this universe throughout the whole multiverse. To actualize God power in a way that no one can from anywhere else. When projecting consciousness from any non-physical realm. And allow yourself to feel the very specific purpose. Some of you may be feeling it through your solar plexus, that's fine. The very specific purpose of your soul, unique to you. You hold a particular key. You and you only hold a particular key, codes. Based on your soul purpose for this particular 1122 time space event. And that therefore your energy system is uniquely built for in order to fulfill. And through the unity and combination of all of our uniqueness, and unique purpose for this time-space event, we create magic. Is the best way to describe it for the rational mind. As we spend another 5 or so minutes clearing to get down to the bottom of things, the secrets, the hidden stuff. This is how you transform a whole world. Feel your soul and its intent and its true purpose through your chest area, and for those of you that can't, for whatever reason, pretend or imagine what it would feel like if you could, and voila, you're connected. It's that simple. Because consciousness, and the underlying intent for that matter, is king. Except to allow to actualize. It's about stepping out of your own way. In case you need to see Gaia within the white quarantine sphere, or any color quarantine sphere, that shows Gaia holographically, that represents omnipresence. So you're seeing everything, all densities, all frequencies, all planes, physical and non-physical, all at once, because we work with omnipresence. Very deliberately so that things don't take forever. So initially I saw a whole heap of wavy black stuff throughout the outer auric layers of Gaia. A lot of noise, a lot of thought forms, entities, garbage. Turn it white, clear it. Don't tolerate it, because enough is enough. Do you truly know what it's really like to end someone's suffering? Well, that's what we're doing. On a massive scale. What is your soul, oversoul, and I am, and your guides? What are they already showing you that you need to transmute from the physical, because you're on the physical, which is the basic whole point of why you're even here. Forget everything else. All your higher aspects, all this vast array of light and light beings basically put you here to work with and through you, closing that elliptical loop. Of mass transmutational consciousness. Okay. Let's begin to wrap up this initial process. Transmute away for another couple of minutes. Again, the images are sometimes faint for some of us, doesn't matter. Just make sure you transmute them. Turn them white, watch them disappear. Rinse and repeat if you want to get free anytime soon. Okay, so the issue is that there's many different kind of like walls of frequencies, and what's the word I'm looking for here? Because it's very hard to verbalize different realm or dimensional realities. So I'll do my best. Think of different walls, and then another wall after that, and another wall after that. And there's, at least a dozen or so of these walls, and you're looking through a cutout, like a hole through each of these walls. And part of the reason why most of us are still seeing and putting up with entities, negative entities, is these walls. You could call them layers of reality, but this is all within the, mostly within the physical plane. Third density, fourth density. And the physical plane can be just as fluid as the non-physical planes. So we're going to quickly wrap up that show. Okay, let's see if I can be heard on Restream. Okay. Back to what I was doing my best to explain and verbalize, something that's not easy to verbalize. So think of subplanes or different levels of density within the broader physical density of the 3D and 4D. Okay, that's the best way it can be verbalized. And there's a lot there, meaning dark. And we've reached a point of a degree or level of ascension and influx of light where this stuff can now be seen. Fundamental to that's allowed that, is those double-sided emerald pyramids that we originally transported in from our I am through the cosmic central sun of this universe, then each respective galaxy, and then down here. That long stepping down process. And on the full moon, on the 15th of November, we started really amping them up. And we're going to put our focus on them. They're on seemingly all the critical grid points, nexus points, a bit more than just ley lines, nexus point ley lines, but certainly a part of it. And that's transmuting away throughout the past millions, hundreds of millions of years. The dark have put technologies there, indistinguishable from magic, to control those nexus points or critical grid points. And that's been getting dealt with. But now we're going to, for about 10 minutes, put our focus on these double-sided emerald pyramids. And for anyone who's missed out on the last two mass meditations, think of a regular pyramid. And at the base of that pyramid is connected another base of another pyramid, but pointing downward. And it's crystal, emerald, sacred geometry. And it continuously broadcasts or emanates what is really goddess heart energy. Which is at the core of transmutational light anyway. And it's intrinsic to Gaia herself. And a lot of this green emerald love energy, where nothing dark can exist within it, well, not for very long anyway, it's transmuting something that goes by several different names, ranging from antimatter, anti-source energy. So things that are flipped, anything of a divine principle and nature, flipped, reversed. This is the base root of such things. And so from antimatter to anti-source energy and frequency in programs to sub-quantum anomaly, and quantum anomaly is another term for it, where the frequencies, energies, and matter itself is not just reversed, but kind of very chaotic and totally random by nature. So basically the opposite of the divine. And the exciting thing is that we've reached the third and fourth density down to the physical surface of the plane. where can now resolve, realign back to the divine through these double-sided emerald pyramids, which are kind of like a technology, constantly working away as like permanent generators, if you will. And this allows us to clear, transmute, and in a sense collapse whatever hidden hidden walls, hidden veils between the various different frequencies and sub-densities within the third and fourth density, down to the smallest of the small, which is sub-quantum, beneath the quantum level, like an ocean. Or a plenum, as my beloved Bill Shepard once explained. Okay, so with some sort of a conscious mind reference point set, you're going to do something that sort of like very on the fly, or it's going to appear to your rational mind as an on the fly kind of thing, where we're going to do it rapidly so that your rational mind doesn't have a chance to try to get it right, which then screws things up. So bear with me. Look up, feel, connect with your I am over on the far side of this stupendous, epic, panoramic vision that's going to transform a whole multiverse. All that is many universes infected with darkness. And you can see your oversoul and soul within the broader, massive star of your I am. If you can see two of the HOD or managers of multiverses, two of them on either side, great. And don't waver or be affected or be perturbed by any resistance. Okay. And there's always a lot of action going on with the teams working through our consciousness. And you're really going to allow the unlimited, non-linear nature of your higher mind and the right hemisphere of your brain to just take you there. Play. Throw caution to the wind, let go, and play. Without an ounce of trying. It's all done instantaneously. Okay, so the quarantine sphere. Pick your background color. See Gaia as a holographic indigo color, perhaps. Work based on your soul talent and respective systems of how it functions. Align with it. And ask your okay, I'm just going to call your soul and I am and guides your higher aspects. And remember, it does happen as you set the intent or as you ask the question. That fast. Ask your higher aspects to zoom in to Antarctica. You don't have to see Antarctica perfectly outlined with a shoreline. What 1 hour from now? Or now? I'll do my best. With this preliminary step has to be laid. I'm sorry. Okay, I know what I'm doing. You just get to trust me. I'll do my best. So, omnipresence is if you're floating underneath Antarctica, underneath Gaia, with the holographic indigo atmosphere and interior of Gaia. See a green, that green double-sided pyramid that we anchored there on 11/11 originally. And as you're looking up at that, feel the love and purpose of your soul. Repeat after me. Authentic I am, authentic God, guides, and all that is. Dissolve and transmute all hidden layers, all hidden walls, of the dark and contrasting energies. Through this double-sided emerald pyramid, through all of them, collapse all veils, throughout all densities and frequencies. Of primarily the third and fourth density, of primarily but not limited to the physical plane, down to and throughout the subquantum level. Okay, that's interesting. I felt something there, even though we're barely getting started with the South Pole. So start to see a magic-like, omnipresent green starting to spread outwards from this emerald pyramid. Double-sided emerald pyramid. Because we're doing a lot more than just clearing the various base roots of contrast, let alone dark, to exist. But we're replacing it with love, a goddess, love, as the new base root that runs the fabric of reality at all levels, at the surface of the physical plane. Okay, primarily, but not limited to, third and fourth density physical plane, down to and throughout all frequencies and levels of the subquantum realm, which is very permeable, malleable to consciousness once you know what you're doing, I guess. Once you know what you're doing. So bear with me. Spread. Think multi-layered throughout the subquantum level, 3D and 4D. Multi-layered, like there's several. You know how there's kind of like veils or walls that separate the physical and plane to all the non-physical planes, kind of like that, but within the 3D and 4D physical only, down to the subquantum level. So you may see, you know, layers. They're going to look like layers separated by thin grey lines representing each layer, but that's just within the subquantum level of the 3D and 4D of the surface area. And you can see them dissolve from around this emerald pyramid. Subquantum level, okay, the smallest of the small, base root of so-called reality or the matrix, transforming the codes, transforming a world, setting ourselves free once and for all. I got some good stuff coming up for you. Ask your I am and soul to show this to you in whatever way works for you. It can be abstract. Let go, receive, hold that internal focus and receive that vision to actualize. The less you try, the easier it is. This is going to get more fun and interesting. Your higher aspects may be showing you this from inner earth perspective. You may see it as a kind of like a cross section, like as if you cut an orange in half. And there's several layers, like veils or dimensional walls or hidden walls within the subquantum realm, primarily third and fourth, physical density, surface area, the last to go. Visualizing, again, abstract still works. It's one of the main reasons why we're here on the surface, physical, lower densities, to project our consciousness from here, because it doesn't actually really happen to a magic godlike extent. by any light beings that are at any other realm or dimension. So now that you're sort of getting a feel for this, collapsing, the hidden, anything that's hidden, any pockets, any time-space pockets, hidden portals, magic-like technologies that are often set to go off whenever the planet reaches a certain frequency threshold. Doesn't matter what shape you see it. Could be a sphere, could be a cube, or a flat rectangular, whatever. This is going to expose all that for the light forces to clear it straight away. So by holding the intent of complete clearance of the entirety of the quantum and subquantum anomaly and anything within it, dark consciousness, negative frequencies, antimatter, again, at the subquantum level, it's more like a black ocean, basically. But again, there's several hidden walls of it, is the best way I can describe it. Hidden veils, like stacked on each other, like a stack of pancakes. So watch that collapse, implode, dissolve as you spread the green light that just doesn't allow it to exist. And spread it throughout Antarctica as you hold that intent. Again, as always, you may get, brief glimpses of micro images of layers of the smallest of the small, of subquantum anomaly, and all sorts of hidden stuff, mostly technologies within them. So if you zoom in a little, at whatever angle, again, see things holographically. If it works for you, if you're having trouble seeing this a certain way for whatever reason, and that's fair enough, another thing you can also apply is seeing the Emerald Pyramid, double-sided pyramid, half of it underground, the other half above ground in Antarctica. See it within, that atmospheric and crust level of thickness from like a cross section, as if you cut an orange in half. and just see the green emanating outwards from the double-sided pyramid into the blackness of subquantum anomaly, the base root, that allows darkness of any shape, form, or kind to even exist, and spread it outwards. So there's a perpendicular aspect to it as well. And spread it outwards. I can feel the cheers from off-world and inner earth. It's always a bit more time consuming at the beginning because we've got to get our consciousness on board and get a feel for it. So we're going to be able to go a lot faster and ramp things up with the other double-sided emerald pyramids in other critical grid points across the world. But I'm starting off with the South Pole because the South Pole also represents the South Node, which is the past, history, karmic imprints, catastrophes, past events, all that kind of thing. And it allows us to, because all manner of magic-like technologies by super advanced negative ETs, they've planted all sorts of crap all around the planet that go off throughout as we reach and surpass thresholds of frequency ascension. That's why, one of the main reasons why it's been so damn rough and long. And we have, through this action, revoked our consent and agreement to this. Stand firm through that graceful, detached internal vision and intent. Receive the image already shown to you by your higher aspects. Okay, now feel, again, the infallible power of your I am is one of the central aspects emanating outward from the heart of each of these double-sided emerald pyramids, combining the power of sacred geometry, structure, the divine masculine, in other words, accommodating the divine feminine, the ultimate sacred one. They're not just polar opposites. That's scratching the surface. Okay, so see a somewhat light, slightly light green color that's got a lot of perpendicular altitudinal depth to it, going deep into throughout the crust of the physical surface density and well into the lower atmosphere and upper atmosphere, clearing this prism-like garbage that's gotten way out of hand. So, again, have some consciousness on depth into the crust and into the lower atmosphere through to the upper atmosphere, breaking the back of all dark once and for all, beginning with the South node. $144K making history, literally. And again, for the sake of visual contrast, have that relaxed, non-trying, holographic indigo background of Gaia, of the whole South Pole region, etc. Feel an overwhelming power that cannot be described emanating outward. It is helping clear past imprints of all sorts and different levels of Atlantis, as you can imagine. Past wars, even before Atlantis. Expand your level of consciousness. And see just, I don't know, it almost looks like one of those green auroras when there's a solar storm hitting the North or South Pole. Collapsing different walls, veils, hidden walls, hidden veils of the dark. All right, spread throughout and past the shores of Antarctica, down to all frequencies, depths, through walls, collapsing walls and layers throughout the subquantum level. Way beneath, way below, and in between, quantum waveform particles hold that intent. Okay. Let's briefly move over to the heart of Australia. Uluru, Ayers Rock. Ask your higher mind, higher aspects to take you there through a simple, carefree intent. Again, see the emerald, double-sided pyramid that we anchored there on 1111 originally. See that in whatever angle, holographic angle works for you. Spread the green color of love of the goddess that just dissolves. Throughout the subquantum level. So this is again, there's a lot of depth through the atmosphere, through deep into the crust. So it's a very, what's the word? It'll originally look like almost like a tube and spreading outwards. Like a green sphere dissolving the dark of the subquantum realms of the physical, 3D and 4D primarily. That's where you hold your consciousness. So do it casually, be more the detached witness. The less you try, the easier it is. Move the green. Dissolve the dark. Base root, subquantum, fabric of reality. This is not just going to seriously let in the light like you wouldn't believe, but it's going to really light up the grids by default. And it'll expose fully, but also isolate any dark pockets of any shape, form, or kind, any dark technologies of any shape, form, or kind, but also dark beings on the physical plane. And I'll be getting to them shortly, like you wouldn't believe. It just helps to do the ultimate energetic version of draining the swamp. Otherwise, you can't find the dark beings. It doesn't work that way. Well, kind of. But you won't get very far. And then they respond, and then it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Authentic inner earth forces of light, authentic galactic confederation, Ashtar command, and intergalactic confederation. It is commanded that you intervene, support, assist, amplify now. All right. Spread the green color. The heart chakra color of goddess love. The new base root, the fabric of reality, dissolving. Pardon me. The base root, subquantum anomaly, and everything within it that allows darkness to even exist. See it racing towards the shores of Australia. And I've been doing this sort of thing each morning for about 5 minutes, by the way, like I know some of you have, since 11:11. So we've primed it and softened it to where we can go the rest of the way now. So run with this, seize this. If you want to be free anytime soon. Because energetic liberation is more than enough for starseeds to make the rest of the way to physical liberation a completely different story. Call upon your I am to channel more of its self through you. see the green from the South Pole beginning to come up. And touch the green emanating from Ayers Rock, aka Uluru, which is basically very much the centre of Australia. Again, kind of feel the depth, the altitudinal depth of the whole crust area and atmosphere area. You know, that's how many miles of altitude when you include the full thickness of the crust and the upper and lower atmosphere, where the subquantum anomaly and various hidden veils within that, multi-layered in nature. Okay. Zoom over this holographic indigo colored omnipresent visual of Gaia over to Machu Picchu. Kind of close to the equator on the Andes. Again, your higher aspects knows where it is, B, the witness, and C, the green pyramid, double-sided pyramid within that. And C, the green beginning to emanate. And you can see, if it works for you, you can see the whole atmosphere and surface area of Gaia as, grey or dark grey, representing the various layers of subquantum anomaly. If you want. And it doesn't so much matter about size. You can allow yourself to make out the double-sided emerald pyramid as if you were floating from outer space and still be able to see just fine. Just bring out the energy and kind of like quantum codes, sacred divine goddess codes, written in love, written by love, to transmute and clear. And see it emanating outwards. And notice the green it's kind of like like a massive tsunami coming up from the south up through Chile and Argentina. Again, by clearing the base root the subquantum level of the fabric of reality, third and fourth densities, all layers of it. Anything dark just can't exist, certainly not for very long at all. This will radically ascend the planet and radically accelerate. Compression breakthrough for Cobra subscribers.
"90 seconds."
And then we can find any dark in physical human form way easier because they'll be isolated. Like a fish out of water is one good analogy. Okay, and
60
see
seconds.
the green that emanated from the double-sided emerald pyramid within Machu Picchu kind of start to reach and come together with the green dissolving love goddess energy coming up from the South Pole and unite. Let's switch on over to the Congo. There's a reason. So obviously the eastern end of Congo, neighbors Rwanda.
10 seconds.
We all know what happened there in the early 90s. That's not an accident that it happened on that particular grid point. So zoom in over there in whatever way works for you. C. So this is just below the Sahara, Central Africa. Ask your higher aspects to show it to you, and voila, you're there. Emanate. And dissolve. Emanate green. Spreading throughout the heart of Africa. That's been quite dark in all various ways, literally and metaphorically, for a reason. Of course, you had the mass atrocities of King Leopold of Belgium in the late 1800s. That area has been massively attacked, just like the grids of Germany and Western Poland, all for a reason. It says spread throughout into the Sahara Desert. Think depth. Think on the edges of these expanding fields of green. Goddess Heart Love. That's the new base root program, if you will, for reality, the new earth reality. You see the southern end of it coming close to merging just above South Africa with the green that came originally from the South Pole. And you may feel a kind of like a reverberation, like a, you know, how a tsunami moves forward. Is one way to put it, I guess. A shaking, a trembling, reverberation of energies, mostly around these, you know, the outer perimeters of these expanding fields of green, divine. Base root level of subquantum reality, dissolving the subquantum anomaly at all frequencies, levels, physical plane, third and fourth densities, walls, dimensional hidden walls. Within it, collapsing, dissolving, because it's weakened enough where this now works. It couldn't be done before this point. So you may see, for lack of a better term, white walls of tsunami along the edge of these expanding fields of green base root subquantum codes of love. Very hard to verbalize, so bear with me. Okay. It unites with the, I'm just going to call it green for now. I'll call it subquantum green love. It unites, the one from the Congo, with the green love that's coming up, racing up from the South Pole, uniting. Racing up through the Indian Ocean. And let's move over to the one in Israel, Palestine, and the neighboring one in the center of the goddess pentagram in Syria. Again, Cobra subscribers will know about that. So move over to the Middle East. Obviously, really bad energies over there. Major grid points over there. Jerusalem, obviously, a major grid point. Considered, at the very least by the Zionists, as the center of the world. So the green emerald that we planted there, anchored there, from 1111. And the one a little northeast. Ask your higher aspects to show it to you. Okay, spread. From the deepest heart of the subquantum anomaly or subquantum level to dissolve the subquantum anomaly outwards. Feel their energies just, I don't know, initially rumble up, for lack of a better term, and then just smoothly spreading outwards. Collapsing, imploding, dissolving. Subquantum anomaly. And returning the subquantum realm back to source, back to the divine goddess. to rewrite the base root of reality as she sees fit. That's what we're here for. Especially the divine masculine, to actualize this through these structures of double-sided pyramids. Major dark physical beings at these grid points. Like I said, this will have the effect of seeing them flap around like fish out of water. They flap around for a while and then they die. They're the precise and extreme anathema and contrast to goddess, heart, love, energy. And it's our job to end this. That's simply what we're here for. Okay, interesting. I'm seeing a kind of like a, if you switch to a grey representation of the subquantum anomaly at all its levels of the physical surface plane, you start to see kind of like an implosion of the dark grey subquantum ocean or plenum, and just this green begin to appear of pure unconditional goddess love. Just hold the intent and focus for this green spreading through the subquantum level, subquantum realms, all throughout the different hidden walls and veils. Subquantum realm, working through, these pyramids within them is kind of like a portal of your I am presence might, combined with the sacred geometry of the double-sided pyramids, and spread it. Holding your relaxed focus on subquantum ocean or deepest level of reality. This is kind of like what really runs the matrix. And keep on spreading that. It's already uniting with the green that came out from the Congo, Rwanda region, where my partner and I have physically been to. Let's move over to Ukraine. Same deal. See that stunning, just north of Crimea, the Black Sea. That's stunning. And by the way, that's where the Black Sun cult originated from, by the way. Pretty much where the Khazarian Empire was. Which the Russians, where the Byzantine Empire essentially transferred over to, have been at war with since the 800s, by the way, not just since 2022. and see, again, go along with whatever way your higher aspects is already showing it to you, first and foremost. But otherwise, if you're not necessarily in that category of seeing things, then you can use my guidance if it works for you. But see this sudden sinking, kind of like a sinkhole of this dark grey subquantum ocean of crap. And you may see a white, bright ring emanating outwards, but it's mostly green, just spreading outwards. It's time to bring that war to a rapid end in the coming weeks, because there's not much point to it. It's just giving off loosh, which only powers darkness. Reaching the green from Israel and Syria, and that's spreading, uniting, and it's forming into one, spreading into the Balkans, spreading. Don't hold back. Unleash the mostly unrealized power of your consciousness and purpose. See it spread. It's a pretty thick, the whole atmosphere and crust and surface area where it's most concentrated. That's a lot of altitude. That's a lot of miles of subquantum anomaly. We're restoring the base root, goddess, green, love, energy, frequency, and codes throughout the subquantum realm, way beneath, in between quantum particles, the smallest of the small. Spread it. Now, to really, excuse my language here, which can sometimes be very Arcturian, but let's really light a firecracker up the asses of the Jesuits. Move over to Rome, and they're really not going to like this. Rome, see the emerald double-sided pyramid, just a little further inland from the shore, the knee of Italy. Power it up with your intent and your I am emanating out, because it's basically a portal from the middle in the heart of these double-sided emerald pyramids that all got constructed within and originated from our collective I am presences. And emanated outwards. You can see the Vatican if you want. Not really necessary, because this is really bringing new meaning to the word, leaving no stone unturned. Typically not possible if your consciousness level isn't at this level of awareness. All right. Yeah, I notice there's an initial collapse of some kind, brief white light, and then green throughout most of the center with a thin perimeter of white, is the best way I can describe it. And this is wiping out subquantum anomaly within the initially physical aspects of massively dense, heavy, incredibly dark physical beings. That's a bit more than just the Jesuits. No dark can exist where there's green. So think of the green as the new white light of mass transmutation. And let that spread out nicely. And there's a kind of like a, yeah, I'm seeing a, like a grainy collapse of the subquantum anomaly and all sorts of manner of dark entities, dark consciousness, such as the lurker, technologies, etc., just sort of weakening, melting away, or being spotted and cleared by our off-world and inner earth brethren with a capital B. Let's move over as that expands out throughout central Italy and the Adriatic, merging with the one that emanated from Israel, Palestine, and Syria, merging. And I notice there's all sorts of, I mean, from far away, they look like rays of light that are just jumping in from outer space. I don't know what they are exactly, just getting in there. Move over to Germany. Sacred grids that got hijacked by seemingly Draco type energy. Okay, now, so Germany, see the double-sided pyramid, green pyramid in Germany? At the heart of that upside down pentagram, and then again, half of you will know that all those intersecting points of all the concentration Holocaust camps formed an upside down pentagram. It was a Jesuit, primarily Jesuit event, trying to did the mass sacrifice initially with the Melchizedek line that has its heaviest concentration within real Jews, not these Khazarian pricks. So it's a little bit more towards the eastern side of Germany. Show your higher aspects instantaneously to visually float you to that area. And feel this. It's a weird combination of incomprehensible intensity, but incomprehensible ease and grace and dissolving type event. It's this is you. We're really, not for the first time, for the umpteenth time, 144K, pushing the envelope past the boundaries of the known. To wrap up the whole show, oh yeah, subquantum realm, all levels and frequencies within the subquantum realm of the third and fourth density, already beginning to merge with the green subquantum ocean of love. Oh, that's a good one. Subquantum ocean of love. That's a better word for it. You bet. Because love, as you know, is meant to be the base root of the fabric of reality. While the 144K is making it happen. Like I almost felt the cheers there. Boy, I want your feedback at the end of this one. That's for damn sure. And feel this, again, on the outer edges, this collapse, kind of like implosion. Emanating outwards, merging with, again, faint images does the job. Just hold the vision to actualize. All right. Let's move over to Paris, where we've got the dual goddess vortexes in Paris and Versailles. Green emerald pyramid, where we anchored it. And outwards we go. It's initially this, again, you see this from above the atmosphere, you see a sinking kind of thing, an implosion kind of thing, until the outer, I suppose, transmutational walls of this, the white outer transmutational walls of this green light reach the surface. And that's when, but before it does that, you see this sinking, well, like a sinkhole kind of thing. And then you see the white light briefly coming up through the atmosphere of the subquantum anomaly, and then the green as that reaches the upper atmosphere. Let's not forget seeing things from the point of view of the inner Earth-like forces, with so much of the Galactic Confederation, not just the Garthans, have set up shop in inner Earth, all sorts of underground bases, amping up their technologies, supporting us. And let's move over to jolly old England, in the heart of the Crown District of London, where they claim that critical sacred grid point. Quickly uniting, bringing in, well, there you go, folks, bringing in the love, bringing in the ocean of goddess love. I felt emotion there all of a sudden. Let me know if you did as well. Collapse, implode. The subquantum anomaly that makes it possible for any form or kind of darkness, dark in physical embodiments, let alone technologies, to even exist. Fish can't exist outside of water. That's just the deal. And see, much of Eurasia liberated. Ocean of love. And you can see, again, whatever works for you, but see Gaia as a very dark grey with these green oceans of love just expanding. And hold a little bit of focus of these green emerald double-sided pyramids powering up even more to make sure there's no freaking grain of subquantum anomaly speck left behind, breaking down all Veil's walls and technologies. And this is a lot of depth, you know, it's deep into the oceans, deep into the Earth's crust, way up into the lower and upper atmosphere. So it doesn't spread everywhere that fast. But considering the mileage, it's really covering a lot of ground. Let them be for now. Let's move over to the Freedom Key, the United States. Here we go. Now, the imploding, collapsing, and expanding ocean of love from Machu Picchu has reached the Yucatan Peninsula and Chichen Itza. See that go through there. Oh boy. Let's move over to the southwest. Sedona, Arizona, where it's already pretty porous in terms of compression breakthrough. Ask your higher aspects to show you, take you there, simply by intent. Oh yeah. We command final collapse of all levels and layers of the subquantum anomaly and all darkness of all forms within all levels and frequencies of the subquantum realm throughout Gaia, throughout the third and fourth density. And spread it outwards. I'm putting a bit of focus on the Grand Canyon and Monument Valley and Tempe in Phoenix. The importance of which Cobra highlighted this year. You can do the same. All merging. I am presence come through now, through my consciousness, through these double-sided pyramids. You can say the same, as we're almost there, folks. Merging with the one in double-sided pyramid in LA and San Francisco. So if it helps, you can sort of ignore the physical geography and just focus on the dark grey ocean, deep, dense, a lot of altitude to it, a lot of depth to it, dark grey ocean of the subquantum realm of the third and fourth density, physical plane. And just see that collapse inward, implosion, and then spreading out of the initial white light and then the green. Ocean of love. Pure goddess love dissolves all. And spread it outwards. It's almost as if we're recreating a realm, this reality, where no dark can exist. No dark can hold. And anything that can, its power, reach, abilities are massively diminished. In a way where it rebounds back onto them even faster. It's hard to describe. Anyone on the East Coast? There's that ley line convergence point in the heart of Virginia. Light it up, expand the power. And final dissolution. Energy throughout the subquantum level of 3D and 4D surface. And once the green or the white outer periphery of the expanding green ocean of love of the subquantum realm on the physical plane, 3D, 4D, again, when it reaches the upper atmosphere, you see that the green start to appear and spread outwards. Reaching there's a few. I know there's at least one in Colorado. Yes, you know who you are. Spread it. spread them. Now, connect with, just with intent, with all remaining double-sided emerald pyramids, like one network of love, of goddess, love, heart, energy, the new base root of our reality in northern India, in Beijing, all of Australia, Indonesia, lit up into this green. Much of the southern hemisphere is a green goddess ocean of love that just goes all the way through the surface. As you know, you would have all heard, if you were to, I don't know, bring all actual matter, atomic, subatomic, and quantum matter of the entire, they say universe, but let's just call it planet Earth, and collect it into one ball, it would fit in the palm of your hand. So really, we're dealing with empty space. Permeable, totally responsive, once you know what you're doing, to consciousness that's projected from the physical plane of this density all the way up to beyond the multiverse, to the HOD, to your I am, and then back down through you, through your consciousness, uniting. The true meaning of the word unity consciousness, this is it. Like an elliptical loop throughout all that is, all the levels and dimensions and densities, and beyond that. Utilizing omnipresence, feel, see, play with this, with what you see, this spectacle. Zoom out, see the team, see your I am, zoom in, etc. Do based on the natural talents and attributes and design of your soul, and therefore your respective energy system, the way it works, based on your soul, powered by your I am, and hold a little bit of background consciousness on the subquantum, all levels, different levels and frequencies within the subquantum level of the 3D and 4D physical surface. Melting, dissolving away. It's just the mostly parts of the Pacific and sort of Siberian, Mongolian region still left. Let's make it happen. Again, this is a lot of volume of space and depth and altitude, for lack of a better term. So meditate on this. See it spread throughout the finishing spreading. Throughout the North Pole. I'm just making sure the Freedom Key is taken care of. Now, I know some of you have a thing, and understandably so, for the Jesuits in particular, whose physical presence is massively weighing things down. Now, what we're doing, because they're much like a fish flapping around outside the water, courtesy of the 144K, let's visualize underground or above ground ET craft of the Galactic Confederation and or Agarthans, the Silver Fleet, as highlighted by Cobra, of the Agarthans. Beam them down or being taken up. See these middle-aged, mostly predominantly middle-aged or elderly geriatric males. Well, I guess you can call them males, I suppose, being taken up. Predominantly in Europe and North America, and to a degree to South America. Up they go. The rest of you, focus on the dissolving final dissolution of subquantum anomaly throughout the surface. And think of in terms of depth through the atmosphere, through the surface, dissolving this ocean of blackness, really, and all the dark within it, of all forms. The subquantum anomaly ocean dissolving, replaced with the heart, love, base root of goddess. I'm just going to be quiet for a couple of minutes. Let's consolidate and finish up. Hold the visual focus. Okay. We're pretty much, let me see. I activated the one in the center of the North Pole. And that's inevitably merged with the ones coming up through North America into Canada, and vice versa, the one from Beijing into Siberia. And merging with that. Let's just make sure the Pacific, the Northern
Not live
Pacific,
on any platform.
let me make sure I'm live. According to my computer, I am. So let me see here. Okay, free conference call. I forgot that. So let's finish up on this collapsing implosion and I suppose replacement of the subquantum anomaly and all the dark within it. Mostly in the northern hemisphere. So zoom out a little bit and see what is being shown to you by your higher aspects to make sure it's all covered. And now for about 5 minutes to finish up. So when you're looking at what is now a green planet, and by the way, remember in all the Matrix movies, remember how the actual codes that instructed the quantum waveform particles to act a certain way and for our eyes to interpret the hologram a certain way. All right, that's obviously being replaced now. But notice how those codes in the Matrix movies, all three of them, the codes themselves were of a green color. Well, that's not an accident. Okay, now zoom out, see the teams in the background, your IM, Sol over Sol, other end, etc. See Gaia there in the green color. And now with intent, with the teams, well, actually repeat after me. Authentic Legion of Light, Authentic Iron Presence, Soul and Oversoul, and Guides. Amplify the transmutational energy and frequency. Emanating out of all these double-sided pyramids that we bored in and anchored on 1111. Amplify them by 100 or to 100%. and just go or feel or, go there visually, one after the other, just really now. Amplifying the volume, the amplitude, the intensity of this channeled, portaled in goddess love codes and frequencies through all these double-sided pyramids in or certainly most of the critical grid points throughout the surface area of Gaia. And now just see this green sphere surrounded by the teams. Show it to them. Look at them. Show it to them. Look at the teams. Look at I am. Then show them the green planet. Amplify it. Tell them to amplify it. And what you may notice is the green strangely and somehow getting softer. Like the fluffiest of fluff. It's hard to describe. Well, we know what goddess is like in her pure form of love. And if any emotions came up, either now or before, I briefly mentioned it before, share it in the Telegram chat. Certainly looking forward to any useful feedback. And because the planet can only receive so much light at once, because this, how can I put it? I mean, it is light in a sense, but what we're doing is creating the space to receive light and love from the cosmos, from inner Earth, compression breakthrough, because the mud of the subquantum anomaly and all dark technologies, grids, and consciousness within, and because of the subquantum anomaly, because it's gone, a lot more light will come through now, because we've rewritten or returned back to the divine, the base root, codes, programs, fabric of the physical quantum reality back to the divine. So now we can receive. I hope that makes sense. And you can focus for 30 seconds each morning on amplifying even higher frequencies. Because what we've brought through these double-sided pyramids is the rewriting of the base root of reality from within the subquantum realm. Now that allows more and more light and love to come through the double-sided pyramids themselves, along with, the compression breakthrough through the surface from above and below. I hope that made sense. We've transmuted the construct of the fabric of reality from the bottom up, or from the smallest up, to receive the light. And this will dissolve any pockets of dark technologies and any pockets of darkness within any physical incarnates. Dark means physical incarnates. It'll isolate them and gradually dissolve them. And to say we've set things up beautifully for the December 1st new moon knockout punch is an understatement. Congratulations, 144K, for being at the right time, at the right place, for the biggest impact you could have actualized. Feel the salutes. Feel the accolades. Feel the gratitude. The relief of the innocence throughout the surface of the planet. Now, ironically, this is going to amp up your own unresolved internal stuff to come up even more. And you have nothing to fear because I'm preparing special support for that throughout most of December, late November and much of December. A 4-week program to help you out with that, because this is all going to radically amplify internal purging and cleansing, which could be, it's already uncomfortable. So don't worry, this is a way to handle it. And watch out for that. And you've got that to look forward to. Now look at Gaia. To finish up, look at her. As that, it's kind of like the softest, most infinite form of green you've ever seen. This is, again, hard to verbalize. Zoom out. See the sun way over to the right. And zoom out even more. You can see that this green dot. And throughout all subquantum levels and aspects of the 3D and 4D physical plane of this universe, spread the green light real fast. It's like this expanding ball of green goddess, base root program love, where everything's based on the base root program of love. Zoom it out, see it reach the sun, zoom out, bring it out more. Look up above the galaxy, the Milky Way, see this green dot expand out. Subquantum level, 3D and 4D, expand, zoom out. Because the further out you project your consciousness, the more powerful your consciousness gets. It's another little 144K secret of consciousness. So you reach the Andromeda Galaxy. Cleansing the so-called plasma wormholes and network. Zoom out. See this portion of the universe, zodiac, green dot. Believe me, you don't have to see it perfectly, but do see something. Outwards we go. Through each and every universe. The deepest, darkest place throughout all that is now become the single point of true liberation. outwards we go. Throughout all the sector of galaxies, feel the goddess, love the goddess. If you're a goddess, feel unconditional love for yourself. That's another way, that's what you would probably need to do. Outwards we go. See the universe as that holographic toroidal sphere. And see the green. Outwards we go. Out, out, out. Reach. See it reach. See it come out through the membrane of this universe, reaching the far side of this universe. Authentic HOD, please assist. Authentic managers of multiverses, please assist. Authentic I Am Presence, please assist. Outwards we go. See the other universes as hazier balls of light or toroidal spheres of your color of your choice. See the green expand through them. We've done this sort of thing before. Outwards we go. And see this whole multiverse in whatever way works for you. Outwards we go. Again, the further out you go in terms of consciousness projection from the physical plane of this little blue planet, the more power. I'm talking from experience here. Verified by third parties, by the way. See the green, subquantum, come through. This multiverse reaching other multiverses. See them holographically or in whatever way works for you. Subquantum level, the whole vast ocean of whatever subquantum or antimatter there is left throughout the multiverse. Outwards we go and outwards we go. All the way. Goddess, unconditional base root program of love. Love is back. This is your loving servant, the unknown light warrior, bringing this cutting edge, blazing trail of an intervention back to freedom, back to the stars and the wonders that's been denied to us for so long. To a close of this physical broadcast. And I look forward to your feedback on Telegram, preferably. Congratulations, dear one, to put it mildly.